Nation, let's get it. Yo, salute to everybody already here in the building. Salute to the greatest chat in YouTube history. Make sure you wipe them feet. That means hit those likes, get those thumbs up, and also hit that subscribe button. If you guys are not subscribed yet, we are 40 subs away from 28,000 subscribers. So if you are not subscribed yet, make sure to hit that subscribe button. Also, if you're not subscribed, well, if you are subscribed and you want to help reach that 8K goal, share the link, put it on Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, wherever you can. Once again, man, I see Green Dot Gang is heavy. I see CGR in the building. I see Hug, my fathers. Hug, my brother, I appreciate you gifting 5 OLV Network memberships. If you guys missed out on those 5, hit the link. It's pinned up top. And Hug, I just sent out your jersey today. Ty, I just sent out your jersey today. And Mutation, I just sent out your jersey today. Salute to everybody who donated on the St. Jude's Marathon. Those jerseys are out today. My wife just left UPS. I got all the receipts and stuff. So if you guys need to track those, make sure to hit me up and let me know. And I will let you know how to follow the tracking for those jerseys, man. Salute to Hug, my dog, my brother. Have fun out there in the gym. Salute to Mutation as well, man. My guy, gifting 5 OLV Raiders Network memberships. My dog, my brother. And once again, your jersey is on the way. Make sure to let me know when it reaches you. My guy, Mutation. Salute to all the new members in the building because of Mutation and Hug. God and family, hype for this season. Raiders 12-5, like it or not. You know, we're going to talk about it, man. The presser just ended. I seen a bunch of you guys in the chat. We were having some fun. Man, Gino got me hyped, man. Chip Kelly, you guys. I don't know what it is. Just listening to him, his football mind, you know, going back in the day and breaking down certain systems and stuff. I love to listen to Chip Kelly talk about football. You know what I mean? That was probably my favorite part of the presser. I definitely enjoyed Geno Smith. I definitely enjoyed Jacoby. You know, he didn't really want to talk too much about, you know, his deal right now. He said, that's up to my people and the people upstairs. I love the way Jacoby goes about his business. Got to see AJ out there talking about his extension, which you love to see. One of the GOATs out there. You know, you can put him now in the top 3 best punters the Raiders have ever had. Salute to him. Every dollar that he got, you know, definitely deserved. You know, great presser as a whole, man. You love to see it, man. I'm hyped. They talked about Ashton Genty. They talked about Pete Carroll. I don't know if you guys seen the part where Jacoby was like, I don't know what kind of drug Pete be on, you know what I'm saying? But he just keeps going. He's just always moving. You just love to see it. The energy is different in that building. And I am hyped. We'll start right here, though, man. Salute to God and family. I'm hyped as well. I'm going to kind of pump the brakes on the 12-5, though. Would I love to see it? Definitely. That would be the best year that we had since 2016. But I'm going to still stick with that 10-7, 9-8 range. Potentially maybe 1-11. Maybe we could steal 11. But I'm going to go with that 9-8, 10-7 range personally. But 12-5 would be beautiful, man. Salute to everybody. I see my brother Mikey in the chat. El Mondo, Flores, all my guys, man. Appreciate you. Ridgeback, my brother. Always good to see my guy here in the building as well. Harry says Thornton, Besh, and Malott are balling. You love to see it. You love it because, once again, Malott was a guy that went under the radar during the draft process. Spy Tech talked about it, you know, us not even sending out, you know, a recruiter to go check him out. We didn't even send a scout out to go scout this kid because they didn't want to alert other football teams that we had interest in him. You know what I mean? So, and to hear that he's doing some pretty good things out there early on is really good. Gino said that the offense looked really good today. They're moving, they're gelling. He's starting to build a rapport with his guys out there. I'm really, really hyped. Regardless of how this season goes, I just know in my heart of hearts that it's going to be a major improvement from last year, because we improved not just on this roster, but from the top, and that's where it really starts. You know what I mean? That's why I agreed with the sentiment. Who put it out there the other day that the Raiders have one of the most improved off seasons in football. It definitely starts with the head coach, right? It starts with the general manager. You got two great guys in Spytek and Pete Carroll, and then Geno Smith, right, at the quarterback position. We improved both of those spots, 3 of those spots, including the GM. You know what I mean? Well, let me say this. To be determined with Spytek. I think he had a phenomenal draft class. I'm not going to take away from Tom Telesco. He's been the GM for a long time. He's had some successful seasons with the Chargers. He has some rough ones with the Chargers. He had a rough one with us last year, but he did have a really good draft where he went and got Brock Bowers, JPJ, DJ Glaze, and so on and so forth. So salute to my brother Top Beats in the building as well. All right, let me share some real quick. Boom, boom, boom. We're going to go over here to Twitter. Salute to my guy, Jesse Merrick, out there at News 3 Las Vegas. He was covering the team live, you guys. Put up a couple videos. Geno working on his footwork. They did some drills on footwork. All the quarterbacks were out there. Aiden, Cam Miller, Carter Bradley, Geno Smith, so on and so forth. But that's not what we're here for. We're going right here. Edge rusher Malcolm Koonce is back on the football field. You love to see this. He is very needed on this defensive line right now, especially with all the question marks surrounding Christian Wilkins. And honestly, behind Malcolm Koonce at the defensive end position, there's a lot of questions there. Can Tyree Wilson take that next step in year 3? Is Charles Snowden going to be a guy? Is Ja Joyner, the UDFA out of Minnesota, going to be the guy? Well, it's good to see our guy Koonce. He tweeted out, edge rusher Malcolm Koonce is back on the football field with the team. Last week, we were here. He was working out in the pool during practice and told us he'd be back soon. Well, he's back now. So you love to see our guy, Malcolm Koonce, who missed the entire season last year with the devastating knee injury. It's good to see our guy back, but you have to take the good with the bad, right? I'm not seeing Christian Wilkins out here right now. Last week, he didn't take part in any drills, but he did warm up with the team. So there's no updates there with Christian Wilkins. Once again, our head coach did state that it was going to be a long process. It's going to be a journey to get Christian Wilkins back to where we need him to be, but we have a ton of time to get him there. As long as he's ready by August, I think we'll be good to go. But man, Malcolm Koonce is back. Christian Wilkins is not out there at OTAs today. I'm not going to lose my shit too much over Christian Wilkins right now. Once again, there's so many rumors and rumblings surrounding him and the process that from coming back from that foot injury. Will there be another surgery? Is it the screw in his foot that they're scared may break again? The timetable coming back from the injury, the boot, so on and so forth. I'm not expecting him to be out here at OTAs anyways, you guys. So I'm not too much worried about him not being out there. It sucks to not see him out there with his team and building some camaraderie in year 2, because he missed a ton of football with us last year. But it is what it is. I think Rob Leonard's going to have that defensive line flying. We still got Adam Butler. We got JJ. We got Tonka and a list of other guys available to us at OTA. So once again, too early to freak out, but Max has his sparring partner. He has his dance partner with Malcolm Koonce on the other side, on the other edge, back in full force. You love to see it. Salute to my guy, Jesse Merrick, on the update. Once again, you guys, Malcolm Koonce is out there partaking in OTAs. Christian Wilkins did not show up today. We have no idea what it is. Well, we know it's the foot, but we just don't know the reasoning behind him not being out there today. Salute to my brother Hug, man. 27 months. Man, salute to my guy. Over 2 years, my brother Hug has had to deal with my shit. Salute to my brother Hug, man. Appreciate you, man. If you guys want to be a member like our brother Hug, hit the link. It's pinned up top. And look at Top, man. Came through just blessing. Another my father. It's always good to see Top, man. Top been chilling this offseason. I know my guys out there living his life. Salute to my OG Top Beats, one of the GOATs over here, one of the my fathers himself, gifting 10 of them things, man. Salute to my brother Top. It's always good to see my boy here in the building, man. Being an authority figure here in the chat, man. One person, one mod. CGR is chill. 2-4 is chill. Hugs fingers on the trigger, but he's just chilling. Top Beats. Oh, no, you guys. You got to be very careful when Top is in the building because he let shit fly like the 4th of July. He is not playing. Shit can go left real quick when my brother Top Beats is in the building. Salute to my guy and salute to all the new 10 members in the building. CGR, Graphk, what's with the purple crowns, King? What's with the purple crowns? Oh, I don't know. Are you talking about on the YouTube side of things? I really don't know. I was confused as I uploaded this and got this stuff. I don't know what those purple crowns mean. I have no clue. Salute to CGR, my guy. Also, man, I want to ask you guys this. Ashton Genty, and I'm gonna take this off the screen, was on what is it? He spoke to CBS Sports the other day. Is it Giorgio? I think it's Jordan Giorgio. They had a conversation over at CBS Sports. And I wanted to talk to you guys about this. I want the over. I want the under. Give me the over in the comment section. Give me the under. What you have with Ashton GT and what production he's going to have this year. I've seen a lot of people talking about it in the chat during the Raiders presser. This is what Ashton GT had to say. I'm hoping for 1,500 yards rushing. That's not including passing yards. He said 1,500 yards rushing alone, okay? And we'll say like 10 to 20 touchdowns. You love to see the confidence from this kid. Our number 6 pick, the best running back in football last year at the collegiate level. What do you guys think? 1,500 yards, 10 to 12 touchdowns? What do you think? Because once again, according to MSN, only 7 rookie running backs in NFL history have recorded over 1,500 yards in their first year. Eric Dickerson, who holds the record for the most yards rushed in a single season, he has 1,808. He logged that in 1983. So do you think that somehow, some way, Ashton in year 1 can get close to Eric Dickerson's mark and have 1,500 or over 1,500 yards rushing? Me personally, you guys, I am going to take the under here. I think that if Raheem Mostert is healthy, and I know they want to get some other guys involved as well. Watching Chip Kelly's scheme last year and his system, Junkins got his issue, Henderson got his issue. I don't think that they want to run Ashton Genty to the ground this year. I'm going to go a little less than that. I'm going to go 1,250, 1,300 range. And I might also add maybe 300 yards in the passing game. So essentially, I have him over 1,600 all-purpose yards, but I'm going to go with 1,250 on the ground. I'll go with 300 in the air. That's what I'm going to go with right there. So what is that? Pretty much close to over 1,600 all-purpose yards. 1,250 to 13 on the ground. I'll add an additional 300 yards in the air. I think they're going to find a way to get him involved on third downs. Pete Carroll alluded to the fact that they're having him out there on third downs as well. They're trying to get him acclimated in the passing game, which not last year, but the year prior, he had over 600 yards in the air with Boise State in 2023. They kind of just ran him crazy last year and didn't really get him involved as heavy in the passing game. But I think that's very manageable. Salute to my guy, Zahn in the building. Always good to see my brother David Zahn in the building. 1,615 touchdowns, DeAndre. Okay. I'm going to go with 12 to 15 touchdowns. I'll go with potentially 12 on the ground, 3 in the air. 15 touchdowns. Why not? 12 on the ground, 3 in the air. Let's run it in year 1. How is it that us mods don't have crowns? Bro, I don't know, 2-4. I have no clue, bro. That's something new that what YouTube is doing right now. I really have no clue, my brother. From what I can tell, the crowns are for most comments. They're okay. There you go. YouTube is about to reward spammers. F my life. And you know what? We're going to start doing that. We're going to start celebrating our guys that comment the most, not the spammers. You know what I'm saying? But we do get stuff in our YouTube studio for those who have the most comments in a month, who are most involved in the comment section. So we definitely, once we get OakLosVegas.com running up again, maybe we'll start doing some giveaways for the people who are most involved with the chat and so on and so forth. Every month we'll do something, give away a t-shirt or something. So there you go. Salute to Hug, my dog. Let me see. Should write this down and check next offseason how we did. It would be dope, Reap. It would be dope. I'm gonna stick with my guns here. 1250 on the ground, 300 in the air, 12 touchdowns on the ground, 3 in the air. Why not? Why not? Salute to everybody here in the building as well. And I want to share this also. Give me a 1 in the comments section, you guys, or give me a 0 if you think that we still need to go target a receiver before our season comes around. Okay, whether it's through trade, whether it's through free agency. Gabe Davis is still available. He did not sign with the Giants. He did not sign with the Niners. Amari's still available. There's a ton of talk of, us potentially reuniting with him. I've seen some Keenan Allen chatter, potentially becoming a Raider or maybe even returning to the Chargers. I don't know. Do we need another wide receiver before week 1 comes around? I'm seeing a ton of 0s, seeing a ton of 1s. Okay. Well, this is not going to happen. I don't think that this is logical. I got to keep it a buck here. But I'm going to share this real quick because this was a very, very interesting Raiders trade proposal from Heavy.com. It has the Raiders trade proposal, lands 1,300 and a 96-yard Lion Star wide receiver for Geno Smith. So this isn't trading Geno Smith, you guys, for the wide receiver. This is adding him into the fold. I don't agree with this article. I don't think that there's any way, shape, or form that Detroit moves on from one of their better wide receivers after all the movement that they had in the offseason, losing their offensive coordinator. They lost a ton out there, coaching wise. I believe they lost their wide receivers coach. I think he went to Chicago with Ben. There was a lot of moving and shaking out there on the offensive side of the ball. So, but this is what Heavy.com has. Some have wondered if the Detroit Lions can move on from Jameson Williams, one of the top wide receivers in the NFL. I have to disagree with that. I don't think that he's a top one just yet, but he's still young. He definitely has some time to put it all together. But CBS Sports named the Raiders a landing spot. Brian Diardo linked the two sides before the draft, but given that the Raiders shouldn't expect youngsters Jack Bech and Dante Thornton Jr. to find immediate success as wide receivers in the NFL, it still remains true. Now, mind you, I don't know if you guys got a chance to watch Max in the Rush Pod the other day, but he did state, that he's very they asked him some guys that he's really excited about and that's doing their thing out there right now. He said, of course, Ashton Genty. He mentioned Darian Porter, which you love to see, our young corner that we got in the 3rd round. He said, of course, Jack Bech, which we're hearing great things from the TCU product, our 2nd round guy. But also he mentioned Dante Thornton Jr., stated that, 6'4", 6'5", that he's really excited. The kid looks really good out there. So I don't know if you need to make a move for the likes of a JMO when you have a ton of young receivers on this team right now. Trey Tucker's on a rookie deal, Bech rookie deal, Dante Thornton's on a rookie deal. We just brought in a quarterback, Tommy Touchdown, and converted him to wide receiver. He's on a rookie deal. Jacoby has 1 year remaining on his deal. So there's no real reason to go out there and make a move for the likes of a JMO. Would I definitely be happy that we made a move for him? Yes, but they're not going to make a move with him. Las Vegas needs a receiver, so adding Williams would make a lot of sense for Pete Carroll's team. Williams would be another new weapon for the Raiders offense. They traded for Geno Smith this offseason. And also, this is before the draft. Expected to add Ashton Genty with the 6th overall pick. Las Vegas has more work to do as far as building their offense, but adding Williams and Genty over the next week would be certainly a good start. Once again, this was before the draft, but some things remain the same. What would you guys think about the Raiders potentially making a move for JMO? Down here, this is the realistic thing here right here, guys. If the Las Vegas Raiders want to trade for Williams, the question immediately becomes whether the Detroit Lions are willing to move him. According to Brad Holmes, the Lions general manager right now, they have no plans to move on from the Alabama product, which it wouldn't make any sense to move on from. No, that's something that we have never entertained. I don't know where that report came from, but that's not a conversation that me and Dan have ever had, Holmes said. So once again, doesn't sound like the situation would happen, but I'm going to ask you guys' opinion on here. Would you make a move for J-Mo if he was available? And if so, what would you offer to Detroit? He's a really, really young wide receiver. What would be the price tag in your eyes to go make the move for the likes of a Jameson Williams? Salute to 10 Commandments. How will Sincere McCormick be used? Do you think he deserves a roster spot? I have Sincere on this roster. 10 Commandments. Maybe I'm a little biased. You guys know how I love Sincere McCormick. The problem is staying healthy. If he can stay healthy this year, I'm expecting really good results from Sincere. He could be a guy that could be potentially your running back too, even over Raheem Mostert if he has a great training camp. Chip has that connection with Raheem, with Mostert. They had a year together with the Niners, but I can see Sincere still that number 2 spot. If not, I can see him being that running back 3, and then maybe Dylan and Zeus are battling out for that 4th spot. I have us carrying 4 running backs, 10 Commandments. And honestly, would I like to see Zeus make this roster? Definitely. I think he provides a different skill set that all these other guys have, in that running back room. But I think it's going to be Genty, Mostert, Sincere, and Dylan Lowry. And once again, it's not a biasness. A lot of people call it bias. I just think that, once again, he's really young. He's still on a rookie deal. I know Zeus is, but he's at the tail end of his contract with the Raiders. Former regime, Dylan is as well. But Dylan also provides, some help in the passing game where he was great at New Hampshire. Will that translate this year at the NFL level? To be determined, right? But he also provides special teams ability, returning kicks, and so on and so forth. So I have those 4 guys being the running backs on this roster. I do believe Sincere will make this team. Salute to my guy, 10 Commandments. Salute to Snake Fist on the $2 holla. No new receiver, extend Jacoby. Okay. I mean, hey, he wants to be here. He just stated that he would love to be here. He did state that Vegas is hot as hell, right? Total difference from his time in New England, But hey, man, I would love to keep Jacoby around. Hopefully he has a monster year this season, man. Hopefully he has a monster season. I would love to see him replicate what he did last year with Geno in the mix this year. It would be great to see him have back-to-back 1,000-yard receiving seasons, but I just don't know if that's possible with all of the all of the targets that we have. There's not enough footballs to go around. You got Trey Tucker, he's going to get his. You got Jack Besh, who's going to get his. You got Dante Thornton, who's going to get his. Brock is definitely going to get his. They're going to find a way to get Michael Mayer involved in this offense, and I think they're going to find a way to get the kid out of Montana State involved somehow, some way, in gimmick plays and, potentially some wildcat looks, so on and so forth. But I do believe he'll get some reps on the offensive side of the ball. So there's not enough footballs to go around. I just don't know if Jacoby can replicate what he did last year because, we needed a receiver to step up last year. It was a terrible year for us, especially on the offensive side of the ball. And him and Brock, had great years for us. I just don't know if he can do it again, with all of the new additions to this team. And we may not even be done yet. Snake Fist, we may still go add, once again, a veteran guy like a Gabe Davis, Amari Cooper, or Keenan Allen, or so on and so forth. So we shall see. Cincy, no, he's under contract. I don't know why people are still saying this. All of our guys are under contract. I seen that there was still a rumor going around that, Raiders didn't have him, signed and so on and so forth. From what I have seen and from what I have read and been told, Jack Besh is a Raider, and he has been for a while. So salute to Cincy, man, my guy. Yeah, Caps, right around the corner. I see Jalen Ramsey, on Instagram posting pictures of his time with the Rams, his time with the Jacksonville Jaguars, his time with, the Miami Dolphins. It looks like he will be gone here in the next few days. So keep an eye on Atlanta, you guys. His former DC, Raheem Morris, is the head coach out there. I can see them make a move for him. Keep an eye on the Carolina Panthers. I believe it's his former DB's coach is the defensive coordinator out there in Carolina. So there's a connection there. I can see them making a move for him. Maybe there's another sleeper team out there that could potentially make a move. The Rams, I think, are the favorites to bring him in. I think it just makes sense. They can use another corner out there, and he won a Super Bowl with them. So would I love to see the Raiders go out and get the likes of a Jalen Ramsey? Definitely. But I just feel there's other teams that that are in front of us. But who's to say? You never know. It sounds like there's a ton of interest in Jalen Ramsey out there. I believe, was it Adam Schefter or was it Ian Rappaport? One of the guys put it out there that there's a ton of interest in Jalen Ramsey, the future Hall of Famer. Jack Bech signed a 4-year contract with the Raiders. The contract is worth $7.56 million with a $2.4 million signing bonus. There you go. There you go. Salute to my guy, Gotham City. Alex Rader, man, the thing is with Jair, I think that they're still trying to figure out what they got going on out there. There was a report that came out not too long ago that they're getting closer to figuring out what they're going to do. Jair is not all the way sold on being traded. He may even be outright cut, or they may find a way to keep him in Green Bay. You know, they have a great roster out there in Green Bay. They're a playoff team. I think Jair would be crazy to leave that situation, to be honest. I mean, he's missed a ton of football. I guarantee it has something to do with his contract, because he has a crazy contract. He's missed like 17 games or something like the last 2 seasons, something like that. Don't quote me on that, but he's missed a ton of football the last 2 years. So if you bring in Jair, you know, what are you actually trading, Alex? What are you putting out there to bring him in? You know, I don't really know what it would cost to bring him in. So, and honestly, with all the injuries, I mean, look, Jalen Ramsey played 17 games last year and started all 17 of them, even at, 30 years old. I'd rather make the move for Jalen Ramsey, me personally. Let me see. Was just going to talk about that. Was just literally going to talk about that. So I don't know if you guys seen a report came out the other day that the Raiders are making a move out there at OTAs with our international portal player. I always butcher his name. Is it Laki Tassi? I believe we brought the former rugby player in. He came through as part of the NFL international pathway. He was signed as a defensive tackle. But Rob Leonard went out there and said that I believe was this to Hondo? I believe I think he told Hondo. I could be wrong. It was to some reporter. I think it was for Hondo though. Raiders DL coach Rob Leonard just told me that they have moved rugby player Laki Tassi to guard. Don't get the sense that anything is set in stone though. I could see him back at defensive line, but with that size and athleticism, it makes perfect sense. So yes, it was Hondo, I believe, that dropped that news. So salute to him. I'm not mad at this. I mean, this is a big body dude that's coming into the NFL in year one, 6'6", 348 pounds with 34-inch arms. I think that we made a move to bring in JJ, 2 defensive tackles back to back through the draft. We brought Adam Butler back. We're still waiting on the prognosis with Christian Wilkins, but I'm not against this. I think that we could use some more help on the offensive line. I mean, we watched Philly do it, right? Philly did it with an international portal player. I believe he was a former rugby player, and they turned him into a monster out there on that O-line. So I have no issue with this. Will he be there full time? Maybe not. I mean, I could see him potentially moving back to defensive tackle, especially if Christian Wilkins is not ready to go come training camp or, come week 1. So, but I'm not mad about this. I'm not mad about this at all. I think that this is a good move. I think this is a good move. It's on my internet. What are we talking about? My shit is on all 5. What are we doing here? What are we doing here? So Graphk got Timo. What are we doing here? The Wi-Fi is official. Hi, God. Can't hurt to have more help on that O-line. This is facts. Facts plus tax, man. And you want to have as much talent battling out at those guard spots, right? Because those are honestly 2 of the most, that's the 2 spots that we're most worried about, right? They already said that Jordan Meredith is going to be out there fighting for one of those spots. Alex Kappa, coming over from Cincinnati, having that bad year, Dylan Parham, and so on and so forth. We have a ton of guys that can be out there battling for those spots. we haven't named any starters there. I mean, I think it's a foregone conclusion that DJ Glaze is the right tackle, Colton Miller is the left tackle, and JPJ is the center. So I'm not mad at this. I think that this is a perfect way to go about things. 6'6", over 300 pounds. I mean, 34 inch arm. Come on, what are we doing here? It takes time though. It definitely takes time to put that thing together. It's not an easy position to play at the NFL level. You know what I'm saying? Like, it's just not. Guard is a tough position to figure out, especially in year one, coming from rugby and not really playing a ton of football. I don't know his background, if he played any real football out there, but I know he played a ton of rugby. Let me see. Yeah, Tim, guaranteed. They both are. They both are for sure. I mean, I think I have my guys, at the guard spots. I think it will be probably Parham and Kappa day one. You know what I'm saying? Jordan Meredith could potentially sneak and steal one of those spots. Caleb Rogers could potentially steal one of those spots in year one out of Texas Tech. But honestly, I think that those are the two guys right now that I have, but they're not signed, sealed, and delivered. They're not for sure starters right now. Oh, I mean, Todd, this is the thing. Right now, for sure. For sure. I mean, but our wide receiver one, and he's a tight end essentially, but it's Brock Bowers. But I hear you. On paper, production-wise, from what Jacoby did last year and up to this point in his career, he's definitely the wide receiver one. But just don't put it past Jack Best to have a monster year his rookie season. I'm telling y'all now, keep an eye on Jack Best this year. He could become that guy in year one. So, but yes, Jacoby is, once again, wide receiver one, at least at this point, for sure. And Ty, your jersey went out today, brother. It will be there very, very soon. Salute to my guy, Ty, for donating to the St. Jude's marathon. I appreciate you, my brother. Let me see. Salute to everybody here in the building, man. Wipe them feet, y'all. Hit them thumbs up. If you guys are not subscribed yet, what are y'all waiting on? Make sure you hit that subscribe button. Daniel Cass says, Wilkins getting paid $95,000 to snap so far as a Raider. Sheesh. Nasty work. Disgusting work. Okay, y'all trolling me. Y'all are trolling me in the comment section. And I love you for it, but I also hate you for it. I see what you guys are doing. And I can't stand you guys, but I love you guys. It's nasty work, man. Demokes, you're probably the head bullshitter in charge of this whole Wi-Fi conspiracy, and I can't stand you for this shit. Salute to my guy. Also, once again, we went over the whole AJ Cole move. We did pay him a shit ton of money as a punter, made him the highest paid punter in football, rightfully so. $15.8 million. 4-year extension, $11 million of that is guaranteed, which makes that the most guaranteed money the Raiders have ever given a punter in franchise history. Rightfully deserved. I see Just Blog Baby put out an interesting article today on Daniel Carlson and who should be the next extension, and they said that easily it should be Daniel Carlson. He's been an All-Pro on 2 occasions, right? Not mad about, keeping Daniel Carlson around. He has 1 more year left on his deal. He'll be a free agent next year. And once again, he's been very, very clutch for our Raiders up to this point. But the last 2 seasons, you guys, I got to keep it a buck here. He's kind of come back down to reality a little bit. And I'm not trying to say that I don't want to keep Daniel Carlson around, because it's very difficult to find even just a mediocre kicker at the NFL level. We've seen the Niners go on Super Bowl runs and with a bad kicker, and it killed them. We've seen other teams, great teams, just not have good kickers. We've seen the Chargers get destroyed by their special teams in the past. This is not a problem for me to bring back Daniel Carlson. But once again, what is that contract going to look like? And I know, special teams guys don't get paid a shit ton of money, but we have about $37 million right now at our disposal. What is that going to look like? Giving him, top tier kicker money moving forward. He says Carlson 85% rating, top 5. Look, I'm not fighting that 1970. I'm just saying that, these past few seasons, like last year, right? Over 50 yards plus. Okay. He had 11 attempts. He made 7. Okay. 40 to that 49 range, 8 attempts. He made 6. Okay. 20 to 29 range, 10 for 10. 30 to 39 range, 11 for 11. So I'm not mad. I'm not upset. He did his thing. The year prior, all right, you go 2023, the year where it kind of came back down to reality a little bit. 30, 50 plus field goal. He made 26 of them. I'm looking right here. Hold on. No, I'm sorry. I'm lying. 3 field goal attempts of 50 plus. He made 1. Okay. From 40 to 49, he had 10 attempts. He made 9. Once again, from 30 to 39 range, 7 attempts, made 6. Then he was 10 for 10 in that 20 to 29 range. All I'm saying is this, you guys. Yes, he's a really good kicker, but he's kind of come back down to reality these past few seasons. What was it? A couple years ago, was it 2022? I believe was it the playoff year where he was perfect at Allegiant Stadium, which was a blessing. Like anytime you sent Carlson out there, you just knew he was going to make everything moving, right? I'm not here to beat up on Carl. I think that he deserves an extension, but once again, do you make him a top 5 paid kicker? What does that money look like moving forward? Yeah, Sean, 85% of stats. He cost us a few games, missing some key field goals. He was definitely clutch a few years ago. Facts. But once again, he has 1 year left on his deal. I don't think it's going to be a problem to bring him back. But honestly, do you give him top 5 kicker money? We shall see. But salute to Just Blog, baby. I thought that was an interesting. I thought that they were going to go Jacoby or Colton Miller, right? There's a few guys that it's just an easy call. Like, and the article was pretty. What was it called? Raiders' next move is staring them in the face. So I was just like, okay, well, this is probably going to be a Jacoby article or a Colton Miller article. No, it wasn't. It's a Daniel Carlson article. Salute to them. Definitely would like to keep Carlson around. Hopefully he gets back to his old ways this season and balls out. Once again, he didn't have a terrible season these last 2 seasons, but he just kind of come back down to reality a little bit. Yeah, Q, and he's not the only one speaking about him. There's a lot of people giving him praise right now. A lot of people. Max was doing it. I'm seeing people all across the league, not even just Raider players, saying that Dante's looking good out there. So, hey, man, you love to see it. Man. Salute to Dante Thornton, friend of the show. I just hit him up the other day, man, and told him, I heard you're killing it out there. And he was just like, I appreciate you, big dog. He's a good dude. I'm definitely rooting for Dante Thornton this season, man. Once again, I think it's going to be kind of his production this year will probably replicate what he did at Tennessee last year. You know what I'm saying? It's not going to be a ton of production because of all of the weapons out there on the offensive side of the ball. We are going to run the ball a ton with Genty. I think Raheem Mostert is going to get some reps as well. So I can see somewhere in that 500 to 600 yard range. That would be great. His rookie season. That would be great. And then, year 2, you get him heavily involved. Once again, they're working on his release. They're working, more with what were they saying the other day? I seen his wide receivers coach, Chris Petty, talking about what they were working on, the route tree, his release. They're just working on a ton right now with the first year guy out of Tennessee, which you love to see. Here, my guy, Darian Porter, doing some great things, man, and that is great. That is great. That is the Pete Carroll special right there, Flores. The Pete Carroll special. I'm expecting great things from Porter. I think it's going to take some time, but I wouldn't be shocked. I wouldn't be shocked if he was a starter in week 1. I really wouldn't, because honestly, you're looking at that group and you're just like, who was going to be the starters for you? I know that they were talking about DCAM is going to do good things for us this year. Jacorian is perfecting his craft. They had some nice words for these corners, and they were saying pretty much, there's very high expectations for this secondary because of Pete Carroll being in the building and them trying to replicate that Legion of Boom status that they had in Seattle. But I can definitely see Jacorian starting on one side and Porter still on the other spot. I wouldn't be shocked about that because, once again, Eric Stokes, outside of his rookie season, has been injury plagued. His career has been injury plagued, and he hasn't been great up to this point. He's still really young, former first round pick out of Georgia, but it's not a foregone conclusion that he's going to steal that other spot. Let me see. 2-4 is stupid. 2-4 is crazy. Wipe them feet, y'all. Hit them thumbs up. If you are not subscribed yet, what are y'all waiting on? Catch up those who just joined the show right now. We talked about the Ashton Genty prediction that he had for himself. He expects, he's hoping for 1,500 yards rushing in year one with 10 to 20 touchdowns. He spoke to CBS Sports about this. We gave our over and our under on that in the comment section. If you're just joining, let us know in the comment section. Do you have the over on 15 or the under? I had the under, but I also had 300 yards pass, about 1,250 on the ground, about 300 yards in the air. So talked about that. We also talked about Malcolm Koonce is back. He is back to regular activities. He's out there at OTAs practicing with his players, his teammates. He's no longer on the sideline, no longer in the pool, no longer getting any working with trainers. He is officially back out there and ready to roll. Christian Wilkins was not at practice today, you guys. I don't know if this is a precaution just to make sure that the injury is okay. I don't know what's going on with Christian Wilkins, and there's no update right now with his foot. Once again, I think Pete kind of hit the nail on the head. It's going to take some time to kind of really figure out where we are with Christian Wilkins and the update with his injury from that foot. So, and Vinny B put out something the other day, you guys, if you haven't got a chance to, he was on Twitter about the foot is good, I believe, but he has a screw in his foot, and they're a little bit worried about potentially that screw breaking and potentially having to have another procedure. So I think that's what the worry is with Christian Wilkins at this point. So they're being cautious with the boot. They're making sure that he's good to go, or making sure that he'll be healthy and good to go come August. But we shall see. Top, man, it's interesting. It really is. I got Kappa starting at right tackle right now. If week one was here tomorrow, I got the veteran. And I know people are going to be like, what? Like, he had a terrible season last year in Cincinnati. He was like number one in every category in a bad way, right? But Tom Brady knows him well. Spytech knows him well. They won a Super Bowl together out there in Tampa Bay. They brought him in really early in free agency. So that kind of lets you know that they still believe in, the veteran Alex Kappa. I would have him starting at right tackle. There could be a way where potentially Caleb Rogers out of Texas Tech can steal that spot. His rookie year, he's moving from tackle to guard, and I think he's going to be a better guard than he is a tackle. So he could potentially have a crazy training camp and steal that spot. But Colton Miller, Parham, JPJ, Kappa, DJ Glaze. If I'm a betting man right now, that's what I have. But who's to say? Once again, Caleb Rogers can steal a spot. You never really know. What if Charles Grant gets some reps out there at right tackle and looks crazy, or a third rounder out of William and Mary? Who's to say? But the right guard spot, I got Alex Kappa right now. I know some people don't want to hear that. I'm just being honest. Let me see. Make sure I'm caught up on the chat. Salute to everybody here in the building, as always. A little quick midday matinee. Wasn't going to do a crazy long live today. Salute the 10 Commandments. Imagine spread offense and passing to Genty in space while Thornton is running a fly route. Wow. Man. And you know what's funny, man? 10 Commandments, did you watch the presser? The thing that got me excited was they were asking Geno how the offense is looking, and he said, great. And he was like, we have weapons on the outside that, he's expecting to when these defense man up on them, that they got the receivers that can get around him and create some big splash plays. That wasn't verbatim what he said, but in a nutshell, he was speaking about those players that they have on the outside, and with the speed element, the Trey Tucker, the Dante Thorntons of the world, man up if you want to, and you may get beat. Yeah, go ahead and man up if you want to. You're probably gonna get cooked. Dante Thornton, 4'3", Trey Tucker, nasty 40 as well. These dudes are speedsters. So go ahead and man up if you want. You may get cooked. And Geno definitely gave those guys their flowers today on the presser. Where do you think Genty ranks among the greatest running backs 10 years from now? Gotham City, if I'm a betting man, 10 years from now. Damn, bro. I gotta go top. I gotta go top 5. Because I have high expectations for him. You got Bo, who would have been probably the greatest athlete ever if he didn't get hurt in that Cincinnati game with that hip injury. Marcus Allen, who's one of the greatest Raiders of all time. Kenny King, he was a phenomenal running back for us in the past. We've had Knapp. Napoleon Kaufman is one of my favorite running backs ever. Josh Jacobs. The list goes on, right? You would hope that he'd be a top 5 guy. But if I'm a betting man, I'll say top 5. We took him at 6. We're expecting instant results with him. So I'll go top 5. Let me see. Kid, from what I've heard, man, he's looking good out there. So, I spoke to a few people out there and actually asked about DCAM. But, once again, you guys, we're not going to really know what these guys look like until the pads come on. We're talking about OTAs here. This is essentially, the Underwear Olympics 2.0. You know what I'm saying? Like, there's only so much going on. These guys can't hit nobody. It's not really too much that we can, go off. This is installation. This is installs. The offense is working on a new system. Pete Carroll's bringing his secret sauce to Patrick Graham's defense. So I can't really say that he's having a phenomenal OTAs because I just don't really know. That's a tough position to judge just early on in OTAs. But, I'm hoping for a big year from DCAM. Yeah, PB, definitely heard the Rush podcast. We talked about that earlier in the show, brother. Let me see. After talking to Sanjit, how do you feel about the trenches? I'm still excited. I still think that we have, David, one of the most underrated offensive lines in football. I think that we're going to be a lot better with this new coaching staff with Brendan Carroll and Chip Kelly in the fold, and Joe Philbin still out there going to be helping. I think that offensive line in year 2 with JPJ, coming off the year he had, and Glaze coming off the year he had, they're going to get better in year 2. Colton Miller is at full strength with that shoulder injury. I like the pickups of Charles Grant and and Caleb Rogers. I think the offensive line is going to be nice, and the defensive line. The only thing that worries me is the injuries. Max is healthy, 100% ready to go, which is great. Malcolm Koonce, 100% ready to go, which is phenomenal. But knock on wood. Last year we seen Malcolm Koonce this time of the year, have a nasty injury. And next thing you know, you don't see him for the entire season, right? But on paper right now, I like what we have. I love Adam Butler coming back. Tyree Wilson being a rotational piece on this defensive line. The Raiders of old, you guys, it would have been kind of scary because he would have been forced to be a starter out there. The Cleveland Furrow opposite of Max Crosby, like he would have been forced to be a starter. The good thing is at this point, he could just be a rotational guy, still get a ton of snaps, but come out there, certain looks. That's great for him. Year 3, guy you took at pick 7, you want him to be a starter, right? A clear-cut starter. And maybe, Malcolm Koonce only has 1 year on his deal. Maybe if Tyree shows some promise, maybe, they allow Malcolm to walk, which I would love to keep Koonce around forever. But if Tyree takes that leap in year 3, maybe he's the guy on the edge. Who's to say? But with him as a rotational guy and, JJ and Tonka and so on and so forth, I like what we got going on both sides of the trenches. Let's see. Just for right now, LT, this isn't a situation where they're just sold on him being a guard moving forward. I think Hondo even said that he got the impression that this isn't just like the conclusion, like he's going to be a guard moving forward. So they may move him back to defensive line. He may be a defensive tackle, but a guy that's 6'6" and 300 and something pounds and 34-inch arms, it would be great if he transitioned to being a guard. That would definitely help us, man. Because who's the guy on Philly, you guys? The international portal player as well. I believe he was international. Former rugby player. He's on that offensive line right now. Former rugby guy. They moved him to an offensive line. Who was the guy? Who was the guy? Let me see. Eagles O-line. Forgot who the hell it was. Is it Jordan Mailata? I believe that's who it is, right? 6'8", 365. Was that him? Who was it? It's Malata. Malata. Okay. Okay, there you go. There you go. So, no top. And there hasn't been any talk about it at all. But from how everything's looking, he's been out there. Jacoby's out there. It looks like neither one of these guys are sitting out just yet. And there's a ton of players around the league right now that are sitting out of OTAs, not showing up, because of contracts and other situations. So it's good to still see that at least Colton is out there, our starting left tackle, and our number one receiver, and Jacoby's still out there with 1 year left on their deal. So it looks like there's not a problem just yet. I guarantee you both these guys are hoping for something to get done soon. Come training camp, maybe there will be a situation where, God forbid, there isn't, but, training camp comes around, maybe, just maybe, they say, you know what, let me go ahead and sit this one out, champ. Because Colton has zero guaranteed money left on the books. So, and that's kind of tough. Coming off that massive shoulder injury, had a tough season last year at the beginning of the season. I think that he would want some more guaranteed money on his contract. But we shall see. Yeah, bro, that's fucking crazy, dog. That's crazy, bro. 6'8", 365 pounds, bro. It's crazy. It's insane. So, wipe them feet, y'all. Hit them thumbs up. If you are not subscribed yet, what are y'all waiting on? Hit that subscribe button. We are 40 away, you guys. Salute to CGR. 40 away from 28,000 subscribers. Help me hit that mark. We'll definitely run a 28K show celebrating it. Let me see how far we are right now. I think we were 40, I think, initially when the show started. Let me see. We are 34. 34 away. 34 away. So if you guys are not subscribed yet, what are y'all waiting on? Hit that subscribe button. Let me see. Graphk, I would make a trade for a DT and give up draft capital to shore it up. But who? Who, Hardy? At this point, who are you looking at? I don't think at this late in the game, and I know it's only OTAs, but still, this late in the game, I don't think that any team is trying to move on from potentially a starting defensive tackle. So. Let me see. Let's go. My guy deserves 28K. Salute to my guy, man. Appreciate you, brother. Yeah, man. We did it off the muscle over here, man. No machine behind us. No fake numbers. We earned every single subscriber over here, man. So salute to you guys for helping me get to this achievement. We're only 2,000 away now from 30,000, which is a major milestone. But man, being able to do this, the organic way. Once again, with no backing, just the grind. You know what I mean? We appreciate you guys over here, man, for real. Let me see. AJ. The thing is, man, do we have a ton of potential in that room? Definitely. Do I trust Adam Butler? Yeah, but I mean, you paid Christian Wilkins to be a top 5 defensive tackle in this league for your organization, right? So it hurts. It hurts. Like, I agree with you. I like the promise of Tonka, the promise of JJ, and some of these other guys. But, I mean, if you don't have Wilkins out there week 1, that is a massive blow to that defensive line. I'm not even going to, front like it's not. It's a massive blow. He was your big free agency, pickup last season, $100 million. It's a lot of money, man. So, but we shall see. Once again, it's really, really early with him. You see. Outwork everybody, man. Salute to my guy, Top Beats. 2-4, man. Content. Salute to my guy, 2-4. Flores says, let's get Graphk to 27,999. Joseph, I don't think that there's anybody else that you're going to look at other than DJ Glaze, unless Charles Grant gets some reps at right tackle in camp and potentially steals that spot. I don't know. Where's Mumford at right now? Where is he with that injury? Let me see. I know he was dealing with some things. Boom, boom, boom. Let me see. But once again, he's a guy with Mumford that can be a Swiss Army knife for you. Can play left tackle, right tackle, can play guard for you. He could be a swing guy for you. Let's see. Okay, Mumford's back at practice. Okay, good. That's great. You want some competition out there. But DJ Glaze, man, is the guy. I don't think that there's anybody that's going to go out there and beat him for that right tackle spot. Bob, we're working on it, man. It would be great to get Genty on the show. I reached out to his people. I'm waiting for a response. I'll keep you guys definitely in tune with what we got going on. I reached out to a few other guys too. Once OTAs wrap up and we have that time period where all the players are freed up, we'll definitely have some more interviews and we'll have a few returning guests as well. So stay tuned. Let me see. I'm not, Omega. I'm not worried about DJ Glaze. I think he's going to be a stud for us. AJ, I agree. I think he's a better guard or a better left tackle. Not saying for him to start over Colton by any means, but I think he's better on the left side or he's better at guard than he is at right tackle. Let's see. Get a few more questions in, you guys, before we get out of here. He said, to be honest, you're a chill guy. I met you at the Raiders-Cardinals game in Las Vegas. Oh, my God. When that BS happened, we was up there, blew the game, was all bad, but yeah, been tapped in ever since, man. Salute to my guy, Kid, bro. That was a terrible experience. And I definitely remember you, my brother. Nasty work. Salute to Reed, man, my guy. Appreciate you, my brother. I just believe that they're going to go with a guy that they feel that that's his natural position, and he's a veteran. I think they're going to go with the vet there at the guard spot. Once again, I could be wrong. 88. I could be totally off. Mumford could come into camp and steal one of those guard spots. Could be. But I got Kappa. I do. I believe that they're going to value his experience. He has the resume to back it up. He had a terrible year last year, but I believe that they believe in him. So, yeah, I go Kappa. Yeah, G, I wasn't high on that pickup at all. I understood it, like I got it, right? It's like last year, you bring in Luke Getsy, who was absolutely terrible, but you go get Cody Whitehair, right? You go get a guy that's had a few Pro Bowls under his belt, and some familiarity with Luke Getsy, so it makes sense. Alex Kappa, on the other hand, went out there and won a Super Bowl with Tom Brady in Tampa Bay. He's definitely connected to Spy Tech with his time there in Tampa Bay. So I just felt like it was the veteran pickup, and it cost us nearly nothing to bring in Alex Kappa. It wasn't an insane amount of money. I forgot what that deal even looked like, but it's nothing crazy. Yeah, and AJ, yep, Spy Tech has praised Kappa throughout the offseason. So, hey, man, hopefully good things happen with the veteran, man. I mean, it's only up from here. It can't get any worse than what it was last year in Cincinnati. Simple. I've never gotten an opportunity to watch Bo in person. Never. Somewhere around there? Robert, to be determined, man. I think that I want to hear our name involved with him up to this point, though. I still haven't seen our Raiders be tied to Jalen Ramsey this time around. We've heard our names, a ton of times being connected to Ramsey, but there's not a lot of talk right now with us and them. I mentioned a few teams. Atlanta, his former defensive coordinator, Raheem Morris, is the head coach. His former DB's coach is the defensive coordinator in Carolina. They can go. They can use another DB. The Rams, clearly, I think they're the favorite to bring him back in. So, there's a ton of teams out there that I think will be tied to him more than we are. Let me see. Yeah, it's nasty, Flores. It's nasty, man. And then their rookie defensive lineman still isn't out there either, I believe, right? It's nasty. You do not want to be a defensive lineman trying to play in Cincinnati. You want to be a defensive player, period. I think Jermaine Pratt wants out of there as well, right? It's nasty work. Just be a quarterback or a wide receiver in Cincinnati. You'll get your money. Anything else? Uncivilized. Let me see. Yeah, hey, man, but once again, even if Cleveland doesn't hold on to Shedeur, Gotham, it was a great PR move, right? I mean, I think they'll get destroyed in the media if they don't hold on to him. But, I mean, look at that, man. All the money they're making, they'd be smart even to just carry 3 quarterbacks, 4 quarterbacks, and just have them at the bottom of that room just so they can hold on to that, that jersey and all that. They're going to make a ton of money with Shedeur in the building. Yeah, he's getting some reps there, Rob. Definitely getting some reps. Ty, I don't know when to expect an extension with Colton Miller. I truly don't. I mean, look, we just popped out the woodworks and gave AJ one. So it could be tomorrow. It could be the following day. It could be after OTAs where we get that break before training camp. It could be during the season. I don't know. But I hope they get something done fairly soon so we can lock in our left tackle. AJ, I'm not against that. I'm not. Not against that at all. A guy that'll probably get you 6 to 9 sacks a season, even at his age, can still set the edge, can play the run. I'm not mad about it. I have no issue bringing in a veteran like Jadeveon Clowney. But, the one thing with him is he has to know his role at this point. Like, you're not playing over Malcolm Koonce. You're not playing over Max Crosby. So, this late in your career, you have to understand that you're a rotational guy. You're the third edge at best, which he would be, over Tyree, I would believe, Charles Snowden and those guys. Let's see. Toasty, man, I would love to have Jalen Ramsey, man. Let's see. No. 510. You're not trading Jacorian Bennett for Ramsey, man. You're not doing that. That guy is one's on a rookie deal. The other one's on his way out of the NFL here in the next few years. So you don't want to move on from one promising player to, a guy that's at the tail end of his career. Makes no sense. Yeah, Mikey, I talked about this on Twitter the other day as well. I would love to bring in Jermaine Pratt. I think that he would be probably the best linebacker that we have in coverage from day one. Like, he'd probably be the best cover linebacker that we have from day one. I wouldn't be against that. He has a deal coming up as well, right? He has like 1 year left on his deal, I believe. Let me see. Let's see something. Once again, man, salute to everybody here in the building. Why did that come up? He was 10th in NFL in tackles with 143 and one of 3 players with 140-plus tackles and 6+ turnover plays. And according to PFF, overall grade of 60.6, pass rush 54.5, run defense 70.1. Damn, they have his coverage grade at 53.4. I still think he'd probably be one of the better cover linebackers that we'd have right now on this roster. Because Devin White, I don't think he's going to offer you anything there. Landon Roberts is phenomenal against the run. Leaves a lot to be, desired in the passing game. Tommy Eichenberg, he's known as a thumper, but he can get better in coverage. He's still young. Jalen Smith, he's getting up there in age. I would love to get Pratt. But I'm shocked to see his cover grade that low, 53.4. 2 forced fumbles, 30 assists, 107 total tackles, 7th out of 189 linebackers. Passer rating allowed 103.5. He's 75th. Salute the top. Let's see. Would love it, AJ. You know, the one player I think that would learn a ton from Jadeveon Clowney if you brought him in would be Tyree Wilson. Real talk. I think that he would learn a ton from the likes of a Jadeveon Clowney. I'm not used to this like peaceful ass house. You know, like my kids left yesterday to Sacramento for the summer, and my house is just like quiet as shit. It don't make any sense. So if I'm like sitting here like with some weird pauses, I'm just like not used to not hearing my kids in the other room geesing and tweaking out. It's actually kind of crazy. Facts, CGR. Salute to my guy. He wasn't there at camp today. He wasn't at OTAs, which I'm not too much worried about. But Malcolm Koonce was out there, and he was back to the activities on the football field, which you love to see. My guy Jesse Merrick put it out there today that he's not seeing Christian Wilkins out there right now. Last week he didn't take part in any drills, but he did warm up with the team, so he wasn't out there warming up today. But edge rusher Malcolm Koonce is back on the field with the team. Last week when we were here, he was working out in the pool during practice and told us he'd be back soon. Well, he's back now. So there you have it. Let me see. Facts. Toasty, you ain't never lied. John Bailey says, bring back Marquette. You guys know I love Marquette, and that's my brother, and I love him to death. But, I mean, look, you just you just made your guy the highest paid punter in football. Gave him a new 4-year deal. He's probably the best punter in the game. Yeah, man, there's no reason for that. I hope Marquette finds his way back into the NFL, though. I definitely hope that he can find a roster spot because he deserves it. You can't name 15 better punters in football than Marquette King right now. So, you know, but we know how this shit goes. But other than that, man, love you guys. Appreciate you guys so much. I just wanted to run an hour real quick, talk about what's going on, talk some ball. We will be back. If not tomorrow, we'll be back Saturday. So we're going to do one more show before the month is up. And then we're going to start the month off of June with a bang. Stay tuned. We got some dope things in the works. You will see all the guys back ripping and running, chill more. You'll see some players on. We're working on a few other things behind the scenes as well, so stay tuned. But you guys already know, man, as always, love, appreciate y'all. And on the way out, wipe them feet, man, and hit that subscribe button. Real quick update. I think we're still a ton away. We're 30 away. 30 away. So hit that subscribe button. 30 subs, and we'll hit that 28,000, man. So salute to y'all. As always, I'm going to get out of here. 1.